Hello, I'm Taylor Ingram with CARE, a Chart Industries company. We're the world's leading manufacturer of respiratory oxygen equipment. We're here today to introduce to you the newest member of our oxygen concentrator fleet, the CARE Companion 5. The Companion 5 is a 0.5 to 5 liter per minute compact stationary concentrator. We've designed and built this with quality, reliability, and performance in mind and at the forefront. This unit is truly built to last and will quickly become the workhorse concentrator of your fleet. We'll go over some of the features that make it such a durable unit here later in the video. We've also incorporated two unique technologies into this unit to make it the best on the market. One of those is what we call auto flow technology, which is variable valve timing, which reduces the power by about 15% if you lower the flow rate from 5 to 2 liters per minute. The other unique feature that we have is ultra-silent technology. This features patent-pending air intake system, as well as an industry-leading purge muffler that gives it the quietest purge or exhaust cycle of any concentrator on the market. We've also designed it for simplicity of service. This unit has a minimal amount of internal connections, and it's easy to access all of the parts. We'll go over all three of these main features as we go forward in the video. Okay, here's a close-up of the front panel of the Companion 5 to show you the patient interface. Note how user-friendly and simple the interface is. To turn the unit on, we simply have an on-off switch. Note that there's 3 caution lights here on the side. The top light that says I/O with a green light is going to be your power light to indicate that the unit's running and functioning properly. Your 2 lights below this that lit up when we turned the machine on, your yellow and red, are going to be warning or caution lights. This red light with the triangle next to it is going to be a warning for flow rates that are either high or low out of specification, or if there is some malfunction, such as a power loss. The yellow light down here is for low O2. This will only be present on units with OCSI or with oxygen monitoring, which will be optional when you order a new Companion 5. If you have oxygen monitoring that has this O2 yellow light, it will turn on yellow and flash when the oxygen concentration is below 85%. The light will turn solid if the concentration drops below 70%. Note also under here is a very large and easy to read hour meter. This hour meter will also display alarm codes if the unit goes into alarm. Our flow meter here is lined and very easy to read. It's also recessed so it's not sticking out far from the cabinet. And it's marked from 0.5 all the way up to 5 liters per minute and half a liter per minute increments. On the other side here we have our cannula connection. Note that this is a metal cannula connection, so it's very robust and durable. And we also have a strap here to secure any standard humidifier bottles. To install the humidifier, and it sits very securely on that pedestal there, so there's minimal vibration and it doesn't roll around. So a very simple and easy to use patient interface. Here's a shot of the back of the Companion 5. One thing to note is that there is no air intake gross particle foam filter that requires patient cleaning. The air intake filter, which we'll show you in just a minute, is accessible through the bottom of the unit in a filter door. But there is no maintenance for the patient as far as cleaning a filter. Again, we talked about the simplicity of service. There's only 6 screws to open this 2-piece case. Screws, there'll be 4 on the sides here and 2 up in the integrated top handle for easy transport. Now let's talk about the maintenance for the CARE Companion 5. We're going to require a maintenance schedule of every 2 years as a minimum, more frequently as needed, but a minimum of every 2 years. There's 2 filters that need to be changed as part of maintenance. We have an air intake filter here, which again is accessed underneath the unit very easily through a cabinet door. The other is a bacteria filter, which is inside of the unit, but again is also very easily accessible. As we mentioned earlier, this unit is designed for simplicity of service. We'll now do a quick demonstration for you to show you how to do a preventative maintenance and access the filters.
Hello, my name is Rob. I'm a field service engineer here with our technical service group in Ball Ground, Georgia. We will be going over some of the easy preventative maintenance procedures on the CARE Companion 5, along with some of the filter changes. To remove the intake filter, you're just going to remove the screw in this slot. remove the cover, take the old filter out, put the new filter back in, and put the cover back on. Put the screw back in, and that is it. Alright, now that we have the intake filter changed out, we're just going to change out the Hepa filter, which is inside the unit. Since we're going inside the unit, we are going to hook up to an ESD mat for electrostatic discharge protection. For ease of access, we have the concentrator on an object to raise the casters off of the ground, off of the workbench. You can use this or a similar object, or you can lay the Care Companion 5 on its side. To get into the unit, we're going to remove 6 screws from the back. They're here at the bottom, here in the middle, and there are 2 inside the handle. Alright, as you remove the last screw, the case starts to separate. And then you can pull apart the front and the back case. Here's the inside of the Care Companion 5, and you'll see the Hepa filter located inside the front case. Okay, to disconnect the Hepa filter, just going to remove the tube from either side of it, and connect them back to the new one. And that's it. Let's put the case back together.
Okay, so as you can see from Rob's demonstration, maintenance and upkeep on the Care Companion 5 is super simple. This truly is designed for simplicity of service. The 2-piece cabinet makes easy access to all parts and only 6 screws to open up the cabinet. Here we have the cabinet opened up again. We'll start talking about some of the benefits of the Care Companion 5 that make it the highest quality unit on the market. One of the main things you see when you open this up is there are a minimal amount of connections and tubing in this unit. That means higher performance, less places for leaks, and other things like that. But as you can see, there are hardly any connections, and the connections that are there are with metal, braided tubing, very secure, very strong connections. That's one of the things that makes this so robust. Now we'll completely disconnect the 2 cases and talk about some of the components and the unique technologies we mentioned earlier. Okay, here we have the case separated just a little bit more so you can visually better see the internal parts of the Care Companion 5. What we did to separate it this much is simply disconnect this main tubing from the braided hose that goes into the sieve bed and solenoid assembly, and we disconnected this tube as well that runs into the bottom of the regulator. And that opens the case up. If you wanted to completely disconnect it, you would also have to remove the power cord connections from the circuit board. What you'll note now that we have this open is the minimal amount of parts and the minimal amount of connections inside of the Care Companion 5. We designed this with as few parts and connections as possible to help improve the reliability, durability, and performance of the unit. The less parts there are, the less things that can go wrong, and the higher quality those parts are. And in addition to that, the less connections and tubing, the less places that leaks can occur. So this is designed to continue working and be easy to access parts and service the machine. Now let's go in just a little bit and look at some of the main components. Okay, now we'll take a closer look at the inside and the main components of the Companion 5. We'll start with the back case portion, which houses the sieve bed assembly. For this unit, we'll use a 2 sieve bed system with a 4-way solenoid valve. The other parts that you'll note on here are the regulator and the purge muffler, which we'll talk about in just a minute, that helps the ultra-silent technology. One nice thing to note about the sieve bed assembly is its quick release for ease of service. There's a grommet up here on top, and it will simply pull out and slide out. There's no screws to attach it to the case, so very easy to work on the unit. On the front case portion, this houses the compressor enclosure. This cabinet here has 4 screws that you'll remove to access the compressor. On top of this compressor cover is the fan shelf that houses the cabinet fan for easy access. And up above here is your circuit board with your flow meter and your Hepa filter here. And essentially that's all the main components of the Companion 5, just a couple of main assemblies together. Again, minimal amount of parts, minimal amount of connections. Okay, now let's talk about some of the technologies that truly make the Care Companion 5 the best 5-liter concentrator on the market. First one we'll talk about is the ultra-silent technology. As all of you know, the two sounds that make the most noise when we're talking about air flowing into and out of an oxygen concentrator are the air intake and the exhaust. We've taken steps on the Companion 5 to minimize the noise that's most noticeable to patients, those two events, during the operation. As far as air intake goes, as we've already shown you, this is our intake filter that fits, remember, on the bottom of the unit. This is patent pending that we've custom designed, and it's combined not only a filter, but it also has muffler capabilities on it. And this really minimizes the noise as air is coming into the Care Companion 5. And then the biggest thing that patients hear on stationary concentrators is the dumping or exhaust noise. We've taken steps to minimize that as well, so it's basically one low and consistent sound without the very noticeable exhaust noise. This purge muffler, that again, as you remember, is on the sieve bed assembly in front of those, minimizes the exhaust noise as the unit dumps out or purges. So these two things combined make this generally one of the quietest units on the market, and it certainly, with this purge muffler, is an industry-leading purge cycle as far as the sound goes, and that is ultra-silent technology. The second technology that we have is called auto flow technology. This is again unique to the Companion 5 concentrator. The unit will have variable valve cycle timing. In other words, the four-way solenoid valve, which we showed you earlier, its timing of cycling between one bed and the other is going to be determined based on flow rates. A lot of the competitive units do it based on pressure, but the Companion 5 is going to vary its valve timing based on flow rate. So for instance, if you lower the flow rate from 5 liters a minute down to 2 liters per minute, you're going to reduce the power consumption of this unit by approximately 15 to 20%, down to about 250 watts. And that makes this at 2 liters per minute the most power efficient unit on the market. Now there's other benefits to the auto flow valve timing adjustment other than just power efficiency. As you lower the flow rates down to, for instance, 2 liters per minute, not only will you reduce power, you're also going to reduce the operating pressures, the operating temperatures, the noise level, and all of these things combined help for less wear and tear on the parts, make the unit more efficient. The other thing that auto flow is going to do is give us industry-leading oxygen purity or concentration percentages. Because it cycles based on flow rate, we're going to maintain basically a flat purity curve, or in other words, high purity, equally high purity at all settings, 0.5 all the way up to 5. So this truly makes it the highest functioning unit on the market. Okay, so now you've seen all the features that truly make the Companion 5 the workhorse and highly functioning model that it is. We went over the ease of service and maintenance, only 2 filters that need to be changed once every 2 years, and they're very easy to access. We opened the unit up to show you the minimal amounts of connections, tubing, and parts, and we went over the 2 technologies that truly do make this the highest functioning unit on the market: auto flow and ultra silent technology. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to call our technical support team at the number at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching.